Okay, guys, I think we got it going tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Ragchew. All 4 platforms seem to be working: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. Yippee-ki-yay, or as Simon on Ham Jazz would say, woohoo!
That's awesome.
Also, what we've got tonight, guys, is sound effects are working.
Bruh.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I can't get it.
I'm gonna lower that down a little bit. I don't want it that loud, blowing my eardrums out. And we got one more thing working here, and I want to ask who's in Discord to make a comment here, and let's see if we can get. All right, for those in Discord, if anyone wants to make a quick comment to make sure we got it working.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
There we go. It looks like it's working, guys. All right, welcome. Jason on Ham Radio 2.0 was a really good stream. It might.
So I think it's working.
All right. It looks like it's he's got a great stream going on with a couple of guys that were operators with the hurricanes over in Florida, North Carolina, and such. It may still be going, but I was kicking around the idea of that. I didn't think about actually contacting some ham radio operators that operated, but a couple of the people that I followed on YouTube and what they've been going through, thought about seeing if they wanted to come on, but I figured they probably are still busy. So we'll see down maybe a couple more weeks, see if I can get someone to come on and talk about what they found they needed, what they found that worked. And I know a couple of them that I follow do have radio licenses, and we'll see if they use those in the time when they needed it. I'm not sure if Japan Ham Greg is coming on tonight or not. We'll see if he gives me a message. I'll send me the invite. And I've got nothing else from anybody else that wants to join the Ragchew crew. We got a couple in Discord, so that's going to be good too. Welcome, Big John's Ham Shack, and Chris is also in our chat here on YouTube. Michael, what's up?
Wow, I was just listening to Jason's live stream as well, and my goodness, I didn't realize. If y'all haven't been listening, look up on Broadcastify the W4HTT. It's a Hotel Tango Papa. Their repeater, and it's on a mountaintop. Apparently, it's at 6,600 feet, is what I understood. It's the Mitchell Mountain there, Mitchell County, but it covers like Asheville and a lot of the area there. And they mentioned during the podcast that with that altitude, the repeater's only running at 5 watts. Mind blown.
Yeah, when he said 5, I thought he was kidding.
No. Well, altitude is everything when it comes to repeaters. If you can get a repeater at 6,600 feet above your terrain, that's pretty freaking amazing. And what's so cool about that is, like, I remember my brother had a Cessna 177. It was a plane made from 68 to 75, I believe.
Yeah.
And we were at the Oklahoma border crossing back into Texas. And I decided to get on my HT on Simplex. And in fact, I got on the VHF national calling frequency, and I was hitting Johnson County, Bedford. I mean, just all over the greater North Texas area. So 5 watts, you can do it. I did that with an HT way up in the air. So 5 watts, you can definitely get out. So that makes sense what they're doing. Plus, that helps conserve power if you're doing like generators or battery backups. 5 watts going to last a lot longer than 50 watts, or like our counting system is at 300 watts. We don't run 300 watts on battery backup, but you get the point. And battery repeaters does some really good work. I was pretty impressed with that. So
that's why all I buy are 5-watt Baofengs.
And they did have a good conversation towards the end there, and I jumped over. Yeah. But Jason had an excellent live stream there, and what was cool about it was dealing with the actual emergency, and it is still an actual emergency, and it's going to continue to be one. There are still people stranded. There's still people having trouble getting supplies. Roads are washed out. Water is at a premium. I mean, it's not like they're gone back to normal yet. So they are still running traffic, and probably will be for quite some time. In fact, one of the guests there stated that they weren't expecting power to come back on until Christmas. That's what they were told by the power company. It'll probably be Christmas before they get power restored.
That's crazy.
So just to think about that.
Do we know the location of that? Because if we could pull up Google Photos and possibly get a, not photos, Google Map, and possibly get a visual, a photograph or something, maybe, if we can find where that tower is.
I know it's on the Mitchell Mountain. That's all I know.
Mitchell Mountain.
Yes. So it's CFW4 HTP. See if one of the repeater books has something there. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the topographical here. I guess I could pull that down into here and show that. So Mitchell Mountain, going to be a small clearing, probably of some type, like this, perhaps. No. I don't know if there's an easier way to find the actual, oh, look at that. Some kind of
let's
vineyard. But let me just see if I could even pull in.
HTTP repeater.
Yeah, they've only got this main road. Let me see if I can drop it here. And let's turn around and see if we can see anything. Of course, trees are going to be in the way.
It's Echo Mike 95 November Foxtrot.
Yeah, but that could be the whole mountain.
Yeah.
That would be interesting if someone finds that, let us know and we'll try to pull it up. But the one thing I thought was cool was, I think he said, was it Verizon, I believe, or AT&T? They had drones that were 24/7 linked with power. So they were up a certain amount of height with power cables and running cellular, which is pretty cool. Lane says it's on the sister mountain. Raven Rock, Chimney Rock. I just think it'd be cool if we could get it. I mean, we probably won't, just because of the tree coverage along the road that Google Photos has something, but you never know. Someone might have submitted a photo with it here's Ed's lawnmower service repair. So that's good to know. Anyway.
Probably some lawnmowers that need repair now. A little bit flooded.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully he wasn't affected, because he looks like he might be in a bit of a valley there. Farmland. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So
yeah.
Anyway.
The other part that I really gleaned from tonight was, there was some non-licensed communication happening, but they followed the FCC rules because it was an emergency. It was actual emergencies happening. And, one guy, he flat said, and it was kind of shocking when we heard it, but I mean, it's the reality of what happens in a disaster. But it says, no, I'm sorry, I don't have a license and I don't have any other way to get a hold of anybody, but I have a deceased person in my tree and I can't get them down.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, yeah, that qualifies. That would qualify. That's
okay, so let me go back up here and look at Lane's KL5 PKs. Just click on satellite and you can see it. Satellite.
You're on satellite.
Oh, I'm on satellite, yeah. And
it's on the sister mountain.
Just click on the link and hit satellite and you can see it. What link?
Okay, Lane, you can't give links there.
I assume you meant a link on here somewhere.
You want to send me a link at gettingoutlive@gmail.com.
Yeah, he'll get.
I can try to copy that over for you. How's that sound?
Yeah, if you got some kind of link, or if you're on the Discord, you can post it in Discord live stream chat, and we can pull it up.
That's a better bet. But if not, gettingoutlive@gmail.com. I'll log in here on this computer.
Laurel Springs, Serenity Escape. Serenity Now, for those who know Seinfeld. Anyway, all right, we'll get back to that. Maybe we can get that information from Lane. Speaking of Jason, he mentioned it for those who may have missed it. He did mention that this weekend is Support Your Parks weekend. And Jason, along with Tank Radio, I'm going to try to get out there. I've got a certain thing try to squeeze both in. They're going to be at Ray Roberts Lake State Park, Johnson Branch, which is on the northern side. Let me zoom out a little bit here. So here's Lake Ray Roberts. Normally we're over on this side, most activations and such. There are occasionally those that activate on the north side of Johnson Branch. So there's two here. One is not Pilot Point. It's on the Pilot Point side. It's Isle du Bois Camp, and then there's Johnson Branch, and they'll be out here. And I think he said Pavilion 1, but I can't remember. So once you get there, you'll just have to ask them which pavilion if you want to go. I plan on going out, just seeing what they have set up, kind of hanging out with the guys. And if I feel generous, I might just do a brisket Friday night and bring out a brisket and surprise those guys. So we'll see. Anyway, this Saturday, if you're in the area, check it out. Tonight, I've set up an NVIS antenna with this Reliance antenna. I've got the Bug Out Mini. Bought it before. I think it was 40. It's gone up a little bit, but it's about 2 inches by maybe 3 inches. It's tiny, and I was using this out the window sometimes. I would go between this and the Coffee and Ham Radio's infed, and I would hang it out the hotel window, and I would use it sometimes. I brought it home along with my radio for a little while, and right now I've got this set up 6-foot ends and probably about 20 feet at the apex in an inverted V. And with that, I've got JS8 call set up for anybody that wants to try to get on JS8 call and send a message, or voice if you'd like. I can get on voice. Yes, thanks, Don. Pavilion 1. Scott, welcome. Yeah, he beat me to it. Okay. So tonight was not a specific topic. There was potentially a topic on fox hunting, but I have not put together enough information on that yet. We've got another ham. There's a few hams in a couple clubs that do it. I've got a ham that has some ideas and thoughts, and I want to try to see if that's something we may want to bring out. Fox hunting is cool. It's something I've never done. And he was mentioning kind of linking it with geocaching or something else. When I fully understand it, if we think we can do it and bring it on, we'll bring this guy on and we'll discuss it. But tonight's kind of a free-for-all. Talk about the hurricanes, talk about EmComm, try some JS8 call QSOs if anyone wants. I can, I think right now I'm tuned to JS8 call here. You can hear the sweet sounds or annoying sounds, however you feel.
Nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. So I'll just keep that off because
chalkboard was where we use chalk and we can write on the board. We use those in schools for your marker boards. Let me
bring this down, guys. I'm going to go down to 40 watts. Let me give this guy a reply.
We have generations here that have never heard nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, that's probably true. Good, Don. We're able to get out there at the same time. Maybe we can take a few minutes and, Lane's got the message on Discord. Michael, if you could probably under live stream text channel.
Yeah, you may be able to grab it faster than I can.
All right. Welcome, Andy. Good to see you, brother. Let me see where he's got it here. Oh, Sunday Ragchew topic? No. Oh, he just private messaged me. I got it.
Oh, he could private message you? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't have it.
And I think that's actually what he said. So if I would have just paid attention, I would have.
Hey, Brocam, anytime.
Okay, so here's the repeater. Thanks, Lane, for that information. Local repeaters. Here, let me pull it over here.
Hey, cornbread, I got a pumpkin pie in my fridge. One of those Costco.
Oh, cornbread joining us.
We're going to cut into it tomorrow.
Hold on, guys. I've reduced my monitors down to 2, so I'm having to flip screens on one. Here's what he shared here. So it shows, I'm assuming they got it right there. Old Mitchell Trailhead and north.
There, Paul.
Oh, this has satellite. I forgot. Okay, the middle trailhead from Old Mitchell. I think we can find that.
Are you able to present that on a separate screen, Paul?
Oh, is that not showing?
Well, I mean, it just kind of. Well, that may work. I got you full screen.
Old Mitchell Trailhead. Thought it was down here, unless the trails are really small. Bear Creek Cabins. Well, I totally lost it. Unless it's really small trails. Let me go back. Could I put it on a separate screen? Is that better?
As long as your head's not on the way, I don't think it's an issue. Or your radio.
That's true. Let me just share the whole screen. We'll bring that in.
Oh, I can put my face on it.
And then I can go back to that. All right, let me go back to his link here. Here.
Can you maximize it? There you go.
Okay. Steps Gap, Old Mitchell Trailhead.
That's a WMIT FM.
And then it's right there.
That's a radio station, though. I don't think that's. But scroll.
Oh, isn't this it?
Well, it may be shared on the same tower.
Well, yeah, that's all. I don't think this is going to have anything. Oh, here it does it. Drop it. Maybe we'll see it right here on the power line trail here. Cut in the.
There's lots of trees in western North Carolina.
Well, I was hoping it would show on this power line trail right here. This should be clear right here. There should be no trees if I can get it.
To the bottom left there, you have another little spot. I wonder if it's near there.
There's the trees. It's on this side though, I think.
Right. Oh, look at there. There's two towers.
Yeah, I think there's two, right? One right here, one right there.
Right.
Okay. Sweet.
Now,
Thanks, Lane.
Our Roston repeater is at the 1500. The transmitter is at the 1500 foot mark and 1700 foot mark. We have, and this is from ground. We have the receive antenna, so we're not even using cans for it.
Yeah.
But there's at the 2000 foot mark is a 50 or 80,000 watt FM station. La Raza. They play Tejano music.
Scott, this is the tower that they were using. Jason, Ham Radio 2.0 stream had a couple of ham radio operators that were operating and helping during post hurricane, and these are I guess where the repeaters are located. Was that right? Where a repeater was located? Is that how you understood it, Michael?
Yeah. It was a W4HTP repeater, which is a 5 watt repeater because it's so far above everything else. Yeah,
so that was 5 watts. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And is that Asheville, the bottom left there of your screen?
Yeah, that's what I was going to look for.
Good spread.
Bit more. I got to go further out to see just Asheville.
Scott,
Charlotte.
Scott, we were looking for the W4HTP repeater, which has been instrumental for a lot of the amateur radio emergency traffic in the area, and it's still being used for that. And it's on top of a mountaintop, so they're only transmitting 5 watts. That's all they need. Because
this is Asheville right here.
Everywhere from it, so that's what we're looking for.
So I'm going to assume I don't remember roads and such. I'm going to assume some of that devastation just kind of followed these road areas. I know there were a couple of bridges. Here's a bridge. Here's a bridge. The bridge.
Yeah, there was only one left that was fully functional.
Yeah.
Waynesville, it took a while to get into Waynesville. There's roadbed washed away there, but we saw that last week's video. If you haven't catch last week's live stream,
I wonder if NASA or someone will come out with a post-hurricane photo to actually see the damage, if they'll release anything like that. Just to see the spread of the damage, because I'm at, well, according to my radio, 567 or 577, and behind me is a waterway, man-made waterway that takes a lot of the runoff from the area developments. and it's never gotten near the top. I guess the way they've got it, it flows pretty good into Lake Louisville, but just like we saw in some of these bridges, it's like, oh yeah, it's flowing just fine. Then all of a sudden logs and house pieces and all sorts of things come in. They block it, the bridge breaks, or it floods and becomes a dam. So you never know, but I think, doesn't Lake Louisville usually sit around like 530 to 550 or something like that? I can't remember the numbers.
I cannot remember. And let y'all know, we have two lakes that are somewhat connected to each other. They're approximately 35,000 acres apiece, but I'd have to pull up the website to look at that. But we're not.
I just remember there were.
We're
I can't remember
right now.
Yeah, I can't remember the numbers, but there's a certain point where they have to release water. Here's the dam down here. They release water south, and then I'm up here, and you see all these little waterways that bring a lot of the rain. For those of you who don't know, in Texas, if you know Arizona or some of these states that just have torrential downpours. I lived in Seattle 17 years and never owned an umbrella, never felt like I was wet because it's kind of a mist. Come to Texas, and Arizona is very similar. It's these monsoon rains. The rain is flowing sideways and it just is flooding the streets quickly. So you can see these little waterways come that take all the water in this whole area and bring it into the lake. Well, I'm sure there's some point that the lake, when the lake gets a certain height, these areas will be flooded. These areas could flood. I don't know what that height would be, but after looking at North Carolina and these areas, it makes me think that it's probably not it probably doesn't have to get as high as I think it does.
Yeah, and there were two major, just going to what Dave was saying here, N2GE repeater. There were two major repeaters that were in the area that I know of, and one of them went down. And so the person who was taking care of the broadcast, I just reported it to the W4 HTP repeater. That was my understanding what happened, but I'm not real familiar. I just know that's the repeater I've been listening to. But just north of that, for y'all, there's another major lake up there, and that's Lake Ray Roberts. And when we were having flooding, they're actually connected through a greenbelt trail. There's a waterway between the two, and they regulate it that way. But we got so much rain, I think 2014 was it, that our Aries team was asked to do flood patrols, and we were patrolling throughout the night once an hour. And we were right there by the spillway when they opened it up. If you had long hair, your hair was standing straight up. Static electricity. It was pretty amazing. The power of water going through there has created such an electrical charge. But yeah,
sorry guys, just turning off my notifications here.
Chris, yeah, there were. You look at the county flood maps, and a lot of people live in those areas. So yeah, I'd be worried too.
So yeah, so if you look at our areas, for most of you, you know, Texas as a whole is, and at least in the DFW area, is fairly flat. In parts of the western area, you get a little more hilly around Austin and down towards San Antonio and such. But in this DFW area, which Dallas over here, Fort Worth over here, and the Dallas-Fort Worth DFW airport here, I mean, this is all flat. It's pretty much all flat. There's slight hills and such, but nothing. It's not like, oh, a bunch of people live on this hill and they'll be safe. Some are slightly higher than others, but predominantly it's all flat. So it really depends on how widespread water and how much water, of course, it would be in this area, because you got all these lakes. Well, if this whole DFW area was hit by something major, then yeah, I mean, you could have multiple areas get flooded all along these waterways, tributaries, and things that are coming in and out of the lakes. Well, but we do have repeaters everywhere as well, which are on water tower, another 180 feet high, and one of them, the Denton County one up here, further up here is what is it? 1,500
something. It's like, I want to say it's
Roston.
Oh, Roston. The Roston one,
yeah.
The receive antennas are 1,500 feet. I'm sorry, the transmitters are 1,500 feet, but the receive antenna separated at 1,700 feet.
Yeah, so that's way up here, Roston.
Yeah, there's no canopy detune because of the way that's set up.
And then this, for that repeater, for the main repeater of Denton County, the Denton County Club. There's voters all over the place, so it's really accessible with HTs all over the whole area.
Right. Plus, we have voters or remote receivers, and that really helps
Yeah.
a lot.
But yeah, so that's the area here. These waterways, a lot of this stuff is Army Corps of Engineer property as well. Army Corps built this entire trail, which is an amazing trail, all the way around us here. It's linked to the next city, Frisco. It's linked to every development, has a trail to get to this main trail of the town, Little Elm. It's great. They've really done a really nice job for our small town. But yeah, so this waterway right here comes all the way out from Frisco side, gathers all this roadway water, comes here. So as long as things stay clear, it'll flow all the way down in here, but you never know at what point there may be debris. If there's tornado or high winds, just putting debris and blocking, you just never know. So yeah, it's definitely something that I've kind of opened my eyes to, that maybe I'm not as safe as I thought I was to flooding.
Well, just not just flooding, but I mean anything. Just down the street from you, Paul, was the Live and we got
True.
Deployed.
Yeah.
Gary's team got deployed, and I drove by that thing, and the whole front of the store was ripped off.
Yeah.
And they had police cars with their lights that were flashing overnight until they can be able to board it up. But that was just straight line winds. It wasn't even a tornado.
So true, Chris. There are some good days, though. Today was a beautiful day, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Tuesday, I feel robbed because I'm going to the state fair. But Tuesday, we were supposed to have the high of 75, but they kind of backed off on that. It's going to be 85 now. So, wonk, wonk, wonk.
That's not bad, though. As long as the humidity is low, it's not too bad. Very cool. It's like a lot of beautiful area out there in North Carolina, man.
Yeah.
Mountains and trees.
The real problem is a lot of that the western part of North Carolina, there's a pretty high poverty level. So,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of them had very little, and what very little they had is gone. So,
yeah. Well, so I got JS8 call up here. I know I've got blue. It's probably hard to see on the screen, but this is one of those methods that if you have to get a message out, does work. So it's similar to JS, or it's similar to the FT8, but does allow full texting. For those who don't understand, you can type here in this white box. You can type a message here, and it'll run in I believe it's the same as FT8, isn't it? 13-second increments or 10-second increments. And then, so if it takes 3 or 4, transmissions, it'll get the whole message out. But as opposed to FT8, which just has the 13 character
Paul,
thing.
you don't have a pulse. He's asking you to send a heartbeat.
Oh. Where's
Paul
my
has
heart?
no pulse.
Yeah, where's my heartbeat thing? I have CQ. My heartbeat thing's
I've
gone.
never messed with JSA, FTA, or any of those 8s. Or I just need to get around and do it someday.
I used to have heartbeat right down here. It was one of my buttons. Something happened.
He has.
All right, let me do. I want to do a all call. It's very strange. I don't know why it's not there.
Chris, where would it be if it's not on his?
That's strange. And then I thought you right click here and it gives you all the options. I don't see it though. You just have a button here that says HB, and I don't see it. Is it 15 seconds? Yeah, it could be 15. I just saw this 10 down here. I wasn't sure if that was. This looks like 10 seconds
Blue
down
button
here.
on the top right. Blue button in the top right. Is it underneath?
Well, I've got. Oh, that's just weird. I used to have it down here. I don't get it. Well, the blue buttons I have are spot and then my settings. That's irritating. I haven't changed anything. I'm not sure why it's not showing. Click the top right button up here.
Don't
enable
say-
heartbeat right here. Enable heartbeat.
Click the top right button.
Okay, got it. Yeah, now it's enabled. For some reason it wasn't enabled. All right, here we go. And right now I'm on that, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm on the Reliance end-fed antenna, the Bug Out Mini. And about 40 watts
Okay.
and good SWR.
So explain to us, what is the heartbeat? What is
So this just sends out, and you guys can correct me. Yeah, Don says too. You got to enable it. You guys can correct me, but this should go out to all people, and it's just basically sending out kind of, just think of it as a heartbeat, just sending out a beat, and then people can reply. This is not a good color combination.
No, it's not. I can't see it on my big screen. That's why I was turning on over to the left here.
Yeah, that's not a good color combination. And then all these red ones are replies to me, so I have no idea. That is bugging out my eyes. Can you guys see that on stream, or is it hard to read that?
It's hard.
All right, let me.
But my 50-inch is at a distance from where I'm at.
Let me just go back to this. And this. Okay. So now you should be able to see it better. So then, so here's the guy doing all call CQ, so anybody can reply to him if they want. Because I was doing the heartbeat, I didn't get the pop-up window that says, would you like to reply, I think. Oh, there it is. So you can auto reply if you want to people that are doing signal reports. So all these, see this W6 OEM, his signal report to me is a -4, K4 RVA +2. So these guys are all just basically giving me a signal report, how they hear me, what signal +8.
And that's all automated, correct? So when you
Well,
send
I think-
heartbeat, it gives you signal reports automated, or how's
I
that
think
work?
you choose that, right? Yeah, I think, Chris, you choose that, right? Or Don, for those who know. I think you have to choose it auto. So I think that's why this is popping up. I can just do auto reply on that one. Give him a -8. What I wanted, and part of what I want to do this for is bring this other window up. Where's my, bring this up.
Welcome, Ryan.
And just to show you, hey Ryan, good to see you, buddy. Just to show you my antenna pattern, the propagation for this NVIS setup, I'm going to assume it's about 20 feet inverted V, and the last 6 feet of one leg, or the end of the leg, if it's an end-fed, no counterpoise. The last 6 feet-ish is folded back over the fence, so it's kind of got a little angle there at the end, but still, as you can see, working pretty good. And I'm hitting here, Oklahoma, 3 in the Dallas, Fort Worth area, out towards Tyler, Texas, and regionally, I'm hitting quite a bit out here. So a setup like this even gets me over to Florida, up in the Northeast, West Coast, as opposed to if I did this on my horizontal or my vertical hustler. I might get a few of these as well too, but it's probably gonna skip a lot of these closer in areas. So yeah, that's a decent pattern. Let's get back to it. Okay, so so he's N5 SKT. Let's go over here. This side over here, you can scroll down. Let's N5 SKT. Where is it?
Indeed, that was a one-time exception because Paul got in so late from Japan. So
Oh, the Monday thing?
yeah,
Yeah, I've had a couple of people ask, guys. Normally I work Mondays. There were a lot more people that showed up for that stream, and I don't think there's too many other streamers at Monday night. But I can't guarantee that I'm here every Monday. So I can't really do that. Oh, I already highlighted. All right, let me give you a signal report. So these are all the call signs that are popping up, all right, that I'm seeing on my reception. Now, if I highlight, as long as he's highlighted blue, anything I send is going to him. You can see right here, it says type your outgoing directed message to N5SKT here. If I want to send it to someone else, I have to highlight them. If I don't want it to send it to him, then I have to click the box again or double click it. I don't want to remove station. You just click it again. Maybe not. Oh, I just lost audio. Can you hear me? Or Michael, did we lose you? Oh, no, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, my son's here.
Okay. So that's all right. Where was I here? I gave signal report to K8ARH and then signal report +10 N5SKT. So now we can send, let's just try, I'll just do something. I'm just going to type, now you can shorten this stuff too. Thanks for joining stream. And click send right here. Again, he's highlighted blue right here. And I'm going to send. Now see where the black line goes? This is going to be the first transmission. And you'll see it here, okay? And then when that first transmission's done, the second transmission now is going out. And it's this chunk, which is now here. And it's probably going to have to do 4 transmissions. I don't think it's going to fit this whole thing. Oh, it did. So it fit that statement or that text or whatever you want to call it, sent in 3 transmissions of 10 seconds each. So 30 seconds, I sent a full message, unlike FT8 where you've got the 13 characters. And this works with very weak band conditions, just like FT8. So for those of us who don't know CW yet, this is a good, he's coming. This is a good method to get messages out. If you want to just, if the band conditions are bad, if you've got a really bad compromised antenna, you're in an apartment. This is one of those methods that if you don't like FT8 because it's static messages and you want to actually QSO and talk with people, this is one of those methods. So I would suggest getting into it. And of course, if you're using this for EmComm, this is going to be something that requires more than just the radio, right? This is going to be, did it send? You're going to, it's going to require a digital interface. It's going to require some type of a computer, screen, laptop, tablet that's compatible. So there is a little bit more to the setup of this than, say, CW or just the radio and SSB. But the advantage is it works in weak propagation, and you can get full text messages out.
So are you actually hearing somebody key up with voice in the band? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, somebody's hearing
voice over.
Oh, is there voice? Hold on. I'm not hearing it, but I am on that lower antenna, so it may not be. Let me switch.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing it on either.
That's what he's saying. So. But D's getting other stations in the area, but he's not getting you for whatever reason.
Oh, you're not seeing me, D? Let me switch. Hold on. Let me switch. Oh, shoot.
He's saying that it's just here and there and not constant.
All right, I'm sending him the plus. Is that a plus? Wow, plus 23. You're coming in really good.
So he's saying, and I'll translate that, power a bit. He dropped the power a bit, so he should get you now.
So we're getting in good with Don's coming into me at plus 23. No, this guy wants info. Where's my info? I hate that. I don't have.
YouTube.com/PrepInfo.
I guess I don't have my info. Why isn't my info set up?
So your antennas and all that.
What else is in info, guys?
Yeah, Chris.
Here we go. All right, let's send that. But you can see all this conversation going on over here, right? And then this is the conversation I'm having. This is things I send and things sent to me is in the yellow box here. So this is what I want to focus on if I'm having a conversation. This is what I want to focus on if I'm looking for conversation or seeing if I can. I haven't been really watching to see. Let's see. Okay, we got Don there. Chris. Am I missing somebody's call sign, guys? I don't remember everyone's call signs. Let me know in chat if you got your call sign in there. Just here's a guy. Looks like he has a net. Last call for traffic. Pacific Northwest net closed on next cycle. Otherwise, remember you can get the net summary. They're doing a net. That's pretty cool. Maybe we should start doing a JS8 call net. KI5WWT for Joe. KI5WWT, KI5WT. Let me look over here. Right here.
Yeah.
We got you, brother. Let me. Oh, yeah.
YHF for D.
Okay, hold on. YHF. Let me send here to, is it Joe? WWT. Joe, I'm going to give you a signal of -21. This one did take a little bit more. It's a little bit more of a learning curve than FT8 because you are typing things in. You've got to understand what you're clicking on, and I'm not still a master at it, but I've gotten a lot better than I was, say, a year ago. Here we go.
If you want to turn your volume up, Brokham is saying he's seeing or hearing a lot more voice.
We got Doug coming in.
Don's saying
Oh, I'm not. I can switch. Well, hold on. Was I transmitting maybe, and I may have cut yours off, Don.
And Brokham saying that it's a voice saying no call sign heard.
Okay, KI5. Let me give him a signal report. Okay, so if someone knows, why doesn't this, I thought the call sign was put in automatically when someone puts, I installed JS8 today. There's no call sign there. I thought that it put the call sign in every transmission. Am I wrong on that, guys? Because,
Hey, Paul, turn your volume up. Chris is also hearing in Ohio.
my voice volume?
No, there's a voice in there on the frequency. Turn your volume back
Oh.
up so you can hear it because Brokham's
All right.
hearing it and Chris is not hearing it.
I'm so glad I got this audio mixing stuff figured out, guys.
Oh, both of them are in Ohio. There you go. Brokham and Chris are both in Ohio.
I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing the voice.
That must be Ohio only. Maybe skipping over.
Well, I mean, I could switch. Let me try vertical. Hold on. Oh, I did. I just heard somebody. I don't know why people do that. You got all this spectrum that's open. I'm looking at the scope. Plenty of room to talk. We got Don coming in. Okay, Don, I'm not going to transmit until I see a full finished message with the little diamond.
And that's K5 VOP for Paul.
Here we go. Okay, so Don's coming in right here. I heard a voice. I did hear just a blip of a voice. I'm on the vertical now, Don. There's Ryan. I think that's Ryan, right? K5TAR. Get that right, guys? I'll get there eventually. I'll pretty sure that's Ryan. Got to go up and find Ryan. Ryan, where are you? I know you're in here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Ryan. Okay, so you got yours at 30 feet. Okay. Don, what's your setup? At 30 feet, but is it a wire? Yeah, Don is, did we figured this out before? How far did we figure you are from me, Don? Just southeast of Dallas, was it? All right, let's get to Ryan here. Always want to make sure I'm on him. So right here, I clicked his message over here and see it selected him over here. So I'm on K5TAR. He's asking how copy. I'm going to just give him a signal report. Just click these are the macros, and you can set these up too. So his signal report, -4, perfectly fine. Negative, when you start getting to that -20 or worse, it gets a little bad, but I've had as bad as -27 and get through. So for those who are unfamiliar with this, you can kind of see how, if you don't care for FT8, I do FT8 when I'm doing something else usually, and I'll leave FT8 running and I'll look on there and say, oh, there's somebody in Norway. I don't have that call sign, and I'll just make a quick QSO. But you can see the benefit of this, right? This is more of the standard digital mode where you can actually have a conversation, even though it's in incremental transmissions. You might get a message through with this JS8 call where you couldn't get it through with PSK, RIDI, or any of those. And since it's October, Hellschreiber, you might not get it through with Hellschreiber. For those who don't know Hellschreiber,
I haven't heard that in a while.
It's Hellfest. It's a Hellfest contest, Hellschreiber mode, digital mode. It's an old, I think 75-year-old digital mode. If you listen to last week's Tank Radio podcast, his audio podcast, he had me and Steve were on, a couple of us were on, and I forgot. They were talking about they were talking about Hellschreiber, and it's an interesting mode. It's pretty cool. It looks kind of like a ticker tape. So look into Hellschreiber, and there's a Hellfest Halloween. They do it over Halloween. It's kind of a fun contest.
It's like they actually paint each individual character with tones. It's
so
the weirdest you'll ever see. It really is.
Okay, so here Ryan K5TAR, he's giving me a +1. I'm giving him a -4. So that's an average good connection between us. So what you can do with something like this, which might be a good idea to do on a regular basis, and I'm planning on doing this and trying to get some more people involved. Frank Tank Radio is interested. Anyway, there's a couple of guys that have expressed interest, and similar to Gaston in the tech prepper who does his targeted contacts, what I've wanted to do for a while is have a list and a regular practicing targeted contacts net or quick QSO or something. And I think that should be part of your personal EmComm plan is, who can I reach outside of the area if repeaters are down? So if I know I can reach Ryan or Don, well, Don's kind of in my area, but let's say Don's out of my area, but even though he's close, repeaters are down, then those are the guys that I can look for and hit and maybe get some messages out. So I think that's why it's good to practice these kind of modes that work. As long as I have power, right? You still got to have power. Oh, let me do another test here. I got some more people here coming in. Let's do this one. He might still be sending, I think. Give him a second. All right. For the QSO. Come over here and send it. That'll be 2 or 3 transmissions. But hopefully you guys can see this. I don't really hear any haters of JS8 call. Again, like I said, you got to learn it. There's a few things to learn, but there's plenty of YouTube videos out there teaching it better than I've taught it. And if you're ever interested in doing JS8 call, hit me up on Discord. And as long as I'm home, I'll set it up and do it.
Don't you have a you have a room for that, or whatever you call it?
Yeah, let's take a look. Make sure I'm not missing anybody that wanted to come in. Oh, sorry, Lane. I wasn't paying attention. Just accepted your friend request there. Let me bring this into the view, so you can see the. Look, see, I got Ham Jazz even above my server. Simon's got some great stuff, guys. If you're not following him, follow Ham Jazz. So Ragchew crew. Simon, one thing he did on his, he reduced the rooms. I made all these rooms for specific topics. Sometimes that makes it more difficult to follow. So we'll see how it goes. And I may reduce some of these, but you got Hamfest, Skywarn antennas, EmComm, Prep and Life, blah, blah, blah. Tools. So we'll see. Here's EmComm. So someone might look at this and go, well, where do I put this? It's EmComm, but it's also ham radio. And it's also, I got 2 EmComms for some reason. Okay, let's delete that one. So I may just reduce that to a couple things like Simon did with Ham Jazz.
More topics is better. Look at Toads, POADS.
Yeah, right here. So,
okay, I gotta make this full.
I mean, they've got topics for just specific radios, which can be a good thing, right? For people that just want to learn about G90, put it in there. So that's why I'm not keen. And mine's not, the Ragchew crew, this is not a highly used server, and that's okay because there's other servers that are used, and Toads is a good one. That's why I've got them up here. This is my son's. Jason, I've got them up high here. Frank, if you're watching, you've gone down a couple because you've been MIA. I'm just teasing you, Frank, if you watch this.
Frank was on Jason's stream, and he was on...
he was.
And,
I know, he was.
I got to go to work. I'm like, dang, so close
yeah.
to Paul's stream.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get him. We'll get him back eventually.
I look at Getting Out Live. He's got a great setup.
But yours is probably all the way down here.
Yeah,
there's Michael's.
Yeah,
but it's honestly, mostly I've done this for people that want to get on and chat about something that may not be on one of the others. These other guys, there's so much I can't keep up with it. There's just too much. I just can't. This is K6 UDA Bob up in North Idaho. He's got a lot of great stuff. If you guys join his, very narrow preparedness, bartering, guns, blades, to a news. So he's I helped him get it started and get him on. He's actually online right now, but he's kind of taken over. I might ask him if he needs me to stay on or not as an admin, but he's a great resource as well. So I'm trying to put the ones up here that I use myself as resources too. So of course, Josh Ham Radio Crash Course has a lot of information as well.
Somebody else just joined us on the voice.
Oh, let me go back down here and so I can see it. Yeah, so see, when you join, if you want to get on audio, you don't want to be video, you can join the live stream, guys, video. It's just a link. I send it. You choose your camera and audio output. That's it. You can join if you don't want to join the Ragchew crew, some live stream. If you don't want video, you can join here and come on through audio, as there's 5 of us here. And if you just want your audio...
don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah, and just know that if you're in here, now see, these guys have their mics muted. If you're in here and you say something, I'm not controlling that. I'm not going to sit here and have a hand on the mixer for chat. So be respectful, and I believe everyone that's on the server is. There's nobody on here that I don't trust, but also know that it will be heard on the live stream, so you know.
And you do have that mute button.
Well, yeah. Do I even have? Who do I got on here? I probably need some admins.
Well, put somebody on there for a second, and then.
Yeah, I'll make some admins on here so it's controlled. But my muting is from my mixer, which is software, so I have to have it on my screen at all times here. So anyway, sorry. Let me, Don. I really hope I see you at the Support Your Parks this Saturday. Hopefully, I can get out there. I got to just try to figure out what half of the cert, because I'm not teaching a class, but I really should be there for some of the practice stuff that they're doing on their last day. I should help out there. Let's see, who do we got? KOHW. Oh, did I not reply to him? Oh.
There's D.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be there.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that'll be cool. Now, I should have a little thing up here. Can someone talk again in Discord? Just whatever comment. I should see your names pop up here on the screen.
Yeah, that was Don that just talked.
Oh, yeah. Can you talk? Can someone talk again in Discord? I should have an overlay here, and your name should pop up in the left corner so I can see who's talking. I don't know everyone's voices yet either, guys.
I have no fear, but let me mute.
Can someone talk again in Discord?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. All right. I don't have the overlay set up. I'll set it up. That way it pops your name up here in the corner so I can see. I'll set that up later. I'm not going to take the time tonight. Yeah, remember there is a delay. So if we do talk in Discord, there's going to be that delay.
It's actually just half a second right now, which is amazing.
Yeah, Paul,
Okay.
I'm going to make a suggestion
Yeah.
on the Discord because you are delayed on YouTube and we're not hearing you on Discord. If you were coming through on Discord, you come in real time and then it's a easier conversation.
Yeah, I have to push my button. So now I should be on Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget between StreamYard and what happens on my TV is like a 10 second delay there.
So what I can do is I can take push to talk off. I think that's how Josh does it.
Yeah.
But then for those of you who are in the live stream, then you just have to mute either the YouTube or Discord, whichever one you want. So I guess I could do that. That'd probably be better, right?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, but just to let y'all know, between StreamYard and Discord, it's within a half a second. It's like a slight echo.
Okay, there we go.
There's a huge delay between StreamYard and YouTube and all the other platforms.
All right, it's voice activation, guys. Let me know if something comes up or if it interferes in some way.
Yeah, I'd go voice activation for you and then we can PTT.
Sounds good. Thanks, Don. And this way, guys, if something happens and I haven't complimented my wife or given her the attention she needs throughout the week, and she decides to take it out on me, then you guys can be my witnesses. We'll have some audio and potentially video of my downfall. I'm just kidding.
Well, Channel 4 News would like it.
Hey, Paul, can I tell you something about JS8 call?
Yes. Tell me everything you know.
Well, yeah, I've worked on it. I've been doing it for a couple of years and
Okay.
spent some time with Josh and several other people learning how to use it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you can do is you can right click on somebody or just highlight their call and you'll see a heard list. Okay, the heard list is the people that they are hearing. And you can actually direct messages. Say you're not hearing that guy and you want to talk to him. You can direct messages to him through the station that is hearing him. And that's one of the biggest powerful things about the JS8 call. Well, that and the fact that you can do APRS over JS8, but that takes some setting up. But the herd list and being able to go to somebody or send a message to somebody that you can't hear through somebody that can hear you. And I've done that a couple of times. And by the way, one of the other things that to me is just, it still amazes me today. It happened about 2 years ago. I talked to a guy in South Africa on JS8 call for over 15 minutes. And I was just completely blown away. I mean, I at that point, I had never gotten him on SSB, but yeah, to be able to work him on, literally have a conversation with the guy for 15 minutes to South Africa. So
see, Don, I should have had you on here tonight.
I'm on here now.
Well, okay, so so first of all, how do you, let's say, who wasn't hearing me? I forgot already. Somebody wasn't hearing me.
I know Bill wasn't, or I think you weren't hearing Bill.
I wasn't hearing Bill.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can find somebody, because...
so that's the thing is, so how would I know who to relay through? Because I remember you can right-click here and relay via...
Yeah, that's the herd list. That's what I was talking about, the herd list. So you'd look for somebody that could see Bill's call in the list, and then you would relay through them.
But what I'm wondering is, where is the herd? How do I see who he's hearing? That's what I'm wondering.
Don't click on anything. Just go onto that same list and just leave it there for a second.
Okay.
Don't click anything. Just leave it there, and it will just, because you. I'm sorry, I'm probably 15 seconds behind.
That's okay.
But it'll come up with a little box there, a pop-up box.
Okay.
I mean, in the pop-up box, I think at the bottom it'll say herd, and then it'll have a list of calls.
I've never noticed that. I knew that there was like a store and forward or read. I knew there was something to that, but I've never really used it. Okay, and here. So,
yeah, the other thing is too, there is you can click on them, go in, I believe, to directed messages to each person and send, herd ?
Right here.
Reply back.
Yeah, so now I just highlight over Ryan here, and heard by me hearing. So I've heard him, so he's not somebody I need to relay to, right?
Right. You're looking for people. You're going to somebody other than yourself.
Yeah.
And looking at their herd list.
If there's a star here, does that mean that they're communicating with me? I've already forgotten what that means.
Yeah, that means that you've heard them well enough. And that you're kind of like having a conversation, like when you send the heartbeats out and they reply, that's one of the ways that star gets filled out. And the other way is if you actually you see them on the list and you start typing or you query their station or whatever and it replies back, then it'll go, oh, okay, and it'll put a star by it.
Okay. I think this is somebody I know here.
Hey, Don, you can tell them about the stored messages also.
Yeah, there was something about storing and then they pick it up later?
Yeah, you can, but here's the trick to that. And by the way, Jason KM4ACK, he has a note on JS8 all the time. In order for store and forward to work, the station that's doing the store and forward has to be on all the time. Because when you close the JS, and this is my experience, I don't know if it's exactly correct, but if you close JS8 call and then reopen it, if you have stored messages that are waiting for somebody, they won't know, or they won't be able to get it. But Jason usually has a system that's up all the time, so like he would be a good one to, okay, I'm going to push a message to Bill, for instance, and I'm going to push it out there, and it's going to sit, and then Bill can later come and query Jason station, and it'll give him a list of the messages that are stored for him.
Okay, so I'm looking at Jason's here, and it is saying heard by me VE3 K0W, and he's not hearing me, right? If I'm reading that right, because my call sign is not under hearing, right? Or is it backward?
Yeah,
I got that backwards.
That may be true, but one thing you can do is right click on him and go to directed messages and do like a query, like a how copy or something like that, to see if he responds, because that's another way. Because he's showing in your list, that means that at some point you did hear him. The issue with that list is that it grows over time.
Yeah.
And so that could have been 3 days ago.
Got it.
Again, given that you haven't closed the application.
Mhm.
But it could be, well, no, actually, I think if you bring the application back, it'll come back, or that list will come back populated too. So you don't know when necessarily you last heard them. In fact, I think there is a time in there, like the 18M, is it like 18 minutes ago?
Oh, right here. Yeah. 11M.
Oh,
so he was
saying he heard
October 14th. Wait a minute. Oh, that's GMT time.
Yeah, so that's today.
Yeah,
but
I think that's today.
I think it says like 18 minutes ago or something.
Yeah, it says 11 minutes right here. Age at the top. 11 minutes.
Yeah.
So I saw him 11 minutes ago, I guess.
Yeah, and he's probably still out there, but it depends on the conditions. And I know you were switching your antennas, so it can depend on that too. But you can right click on him and send him, ask for his info and one of the ways that I use JS8 call, I know it's dumb, but I'm fascinated by this. Mm-hmm. I'll go out and look at I'll send out a heartbeat. I'll get a list of people, and then I just go out and query their stations. You do the info thing, and not all of them are going to auto reply, but when they do, you'll get like their station information. I'm running a 101D. I have a ZS6 BKW at 30 feet. I'm in Eustis, Texas. So you get all that information from them. And for me, I don't know, that's just fascinating.
No, it's, like I said, I'm nowhere near any kind of pro, but I am fascinated with it and learning it. I should be using it more. So it would be cool to, he's still here. So I'm copying him. Okay. 0. And then the diamond means that's the end of his transmission, right?
Yeah.
So I can go ahead and
if you see like 3 dots in the middle of the conversation, that like there's one up in your screen, up about middle of the yellow part of the screen, where it says K5VOP and it says ... and it says how you. The ... means that it could not decode that part of the message.
Got it. Okay. Now I'm on my vertical right now, just so he knows.
Yeah, you're probably you're getting with the DX Commander, you're going to be getting out quite a ways.
So Ryan is asking, can you do this on 2 meters?
With a 2 meter all mode, you could.
Okay.
But what you'll find is there's not very many people there. Early on, when I was
it's like 2 meters CW. You won't hear very many people on there.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody on JS8. I have one radio, Sun SDR, that has 2 meters on it, and I can easily set it up on digital. I've done some 2 meter FT8 and some 2 meter JS8, and I heard people on FT8, but not many, and nobody on JS8.
What part of Arizona is he in, Bill? Pull him up.
I don't think he's in Arizona. I think he's in near, because he was talking about he nearly got hit by the hurricane.
Yeah, Ryan's saying he got a FT8 contact there.
Yeah. There was a guy in Richardson near me that was always on 2 meter FT8.
Oh, Tempe.
But I've never heard anybody on JS8. But that does not mean it won't work, because it certainly will.
Okay.
And
he's in North Carolina for work.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. He was near North Carolina, and
he is. Okay.
Yeah, he almost got. He was close to or something. He was talking, I think, last night on Josh's live stream.
Oh, okay. I went to bed earlier. I didn't catch the whole stream.
Yeah. Have you ever been on the after chats?
Yeah, that's usually where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay. And because that's where we were, and what you're doing right now is a lot like what we do on the after chats.
But isn't he usually doing FT8?
Josh, yeah, during the after chats he does, but he has done JS8.
Okay. It usually goes later than I stay up. So, okay. For those of you who remember that fly, there's another fly tonight. Of course, it's here. But I just noticed. I think my wife must have hit it with the electroshock thing. It's missing one leg, so she maimed it, and now she maimed it because it landed on my screen, and I noticed it's missing a leg. So she probably swatted it.
You have better vision than I do, sir.
Well, he's on the screen. I could see him right here. He's kind of feeble. I think he got a little bit of a shock from my wife, probably in the other room, and then he ran away.
Maybe it's too much flying breathing.
Do you listen to all of the speeds, like the normal, slow, and fast speeds?
No, I've only got it. Am I on medium? What does it say somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on
normal,
fast.
I'm on normal.
Let me check my.
I believe I'm on normal, but I set it to listen to all of them.
Where's that setting?
I show the distance, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool thing.
So you're on this one here. I don't even know what screen I have up. Oh, okay.
I believe it's in your configurations or
Yeah,
right here.
It's
You're on normal.
It's in one of the drop downs. That one where you were turning on the ask or the
reply.
No, the heartbeat where you turn.
Oh, yeah. Where was that? That was here.
blue button upper right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's under. You have that
Okay. Yeah.
logo up there, and I think it's over there, but I'm not sure.
Is this the automatic acknowledgement to heartbeats?
Yeah, it's up there by the automatic acknowledgement. You've got one.
Yeah, above
simultaneous
that.
decoding.
Yeah, the first section is about the speed.
Okay. So I've got all the auto replies right here. Right. They're all set. Auto reply with confirmation, heartbeat, auto reply and acknowledgement.
Yeah. And what that'll mean is that if somebody sends you like one of those infos or whatever, your radio will automatically respond.
Okay.
And you have that off because you have to know, like, for instance, right now you're on your DX commander, so you know that you're 1-to-1, you shouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But if you're on something where you're just listening or you intend to just listen, then you would turn that off.
Yeah. Or if I'm having a conversation, I'd probably want that off, right? With somebody else. Yeah. Okay. So normal's the one to keep, 16 words a minute. And
Turn
that
off the heartbeat acknowledgement.
This one. And so could the reason I didn't copy that one with the dots be because I was on fast? Is it better copy at copying and
it's better copy so again, like for the signal reports we were getting, we could have used turbo because
really?
We have a really good connection, right? We were 23 plus 23 or something like that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But when you start getting lower and lower down in the noise, then you have to go slower and slower. And so that's what those speeds are for. So when you're on like normal would be, standard JS8 down to minus 18, minus 20, 21. And I think slow gets you a little bit more closer to whisper. But
gotcha.
So I'll set it on normal. It really, it's just depending on what are you wanting to, hear only people that you can copy really well, then turbo would be one way to do it.
Got it.
So the box on the right, if you right click on the bars up top at the top,
okay,
says call sign SNR. Right click on that bar somewhere. Nope. Down, up, a little bit. Right click there. Show column. Oh, no. And then go back to it. Right click on it. Nope. No.
Show columns.
Yeah. Show column.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then I have
grid locator
in there as well as mode speed. It kind of.
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
Mode speed. That's good. I'm going to shrink this down a bit and make that side bigger. Yeah, this is stuff I've not even messed with. Grid locator is kind of cool.
Yeah, the sad
Okay.
part of JS8 is the fact the guy's not maintaining it anymore.
Oh, that's too
It
bad.
still works. It still
Yeah.
works, and it's great. And I don't know. We've talked a few times
Mhm.
in different chats and said, has anybody even heard from the guy?
Yeah.
Because at one time, like Josh, I think, or somebody had him on one of their live streams.
Yeah.
And, he was chatting about what he wanted to do in the future, and he had a lot of plans for it. But then he just stopped. But the thing is,
I wonder why.
I mean, it still works. So,
Well, I mean, seems like there's so many software programmers and engineers in this hobby, especially within the YouTube group, that it'd be nice if he wasn't going to do it and would be willing to offload it to a couple other people that could update it if it ever needs it.
I don't remember if he's got it on a GitHub or if it's like if he's got the source out there.
Source codes, yeah.
I just found it's a Bitbucket.
So yeah, if he's got the source out there, then
Okay.
he can do it.
Well, yeah, there's so much to this. I'm glad you guys jumped into Discord.
Hmm.
I thought I knew how to use I do the basics, very basics, but
Well, just think of it this way. I mean, there's so many things inside of this thing that you've got the basics down. So now, feel free to go and experiment, because it's got a lot of power in it.
yeah,
And it took me probably about a year to get some of the things that that are in here working, because I would try them and I wasn't getting the syntax exactly right. And so I had to work sometimes on it. Well, the right click stuff helps a lot. So if you can right click on a guy and then, go down on his call, and then you use the messaging or the system in there, it'll show you a lot of what's going on in there, or what's going on. And if you click on them, it'll build the test message. But even with that, sometimes it's not clear, because they'll use these brackets, and then they have things, and you don't know, should I take the brackets out? Should I leave the brackets in? All of that. So there's lots of things in here to play with.
Okay, I made that. Ryan was saying make a Ragchew group here, so I added that
Nice.
at Ragchew.
Yeah, there's a HRCC, a Toads.
Oh, okay.
Remember, there's several of them, but yeah, you can make them as you need, and then all we have to do is, like, we can go in and add at Ragchew, and so then anybody that's part of the group or has that group in their list will see the messages. Now, in truth, a lot of the stuff is decoded anyway, right? You're seeing in that white box, right? You see it anyway, but if you don't know that it's there, then there's still a chance that somebody's there that is listening there, but you just haven't heard them. So sometimes just go in on your at Ragchew and type a message.
Yeah.
Hey, is anybody out there or whatever? And you might be surprised.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because of S2 Underground was doing the GhostNet stuff, and so I was like, what is this? And so I started checking it out.
Yeah, so I got a comment about that for you also with the groups. One thing that helps you benefit in is if you're trying to do acknowledgments without doing everybody's acknowledgement, you can just click yourself into that group, and you'll only acknowledge stuff from that group.
Oh, gotcha. So as long as I have it highlighted like this?
Can you heartbeat to a group?
No, I'm not sure if you can heartbeat to it. But yeah, if you put down, like, if you click on the group, it should send into your directed messages, and then your acknowledgments will only go to that group.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. Send a direct. Okay, yeah. All right.
So a lot of this stuff I don't know.
I think I just need to be using this more than FT8 when I'm sitting around doing nothing. I just need to have this running instead of FT8 till I really get to know how to use it. All the features.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is that it'd be wonderful if this thing was running on 10 meters, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is. There's a frequency set aside for it. But if you go there, there's very likely not going to be anybody there. And that to me is the unfortunate part. And at one time, like, even though 20 was like wide open all the time, there wasn't anybody on 20. It was always 40.
Yeah.
But I think it's gotten better. I think there are more people on 20 now. But I think you can see, like, that thing goes all the way to 2 meters.
Yeah.
But
it's 2, 6, 10.
It's 30
all the way up to 160. Yep, 30 is there.
Oh, 30 would be a good one.
Yeah.
FT8 on 30 is just amazing.
Yeah, it always seems to be a hit or miss. Probably just propagation. I don't know. Sometimes one band seems to be better than another. Sometimes.
Yeah. And 30 is like, it's not always there, but towards the, I think in the early morning was when I was doing it. And I could get like all over the world on 30 meters. This was before, we got into cycle 25. And 30 was just banging on. And that's why I loved the DX Commander so much. Having that 30 meter element on it and being able to do that, send stuff out and hit Japan and all over. Japan was very big on 30 before or pre cycle 25. Probably still are.
So it's interesting. I've been using the Hustler vertical and still only hitting the States, unless other countries don't really use JS8 call maybe.
Are you on? Don't you have a DX Commander too?
No, it's the Hustler. The Hustler vertical.
Yeah, the
6 BTB, but it's also tunes on 6 meter at 1.6 at 1. So it's actually I call it a 7 BTB.
Yeah, the DX Commander, even though you don't have elements on 2 meters, it'll do 2 meters.
Does it do 2?
Well. Yeah.
Nice. I've never even swept it for anything outside of HF.
Yeah, Tio had a video on his channel one time where he was just goofing around, and he had all of these bow fangs, and he knew his DX Commander would tune on 2 meters, and he was trying these things that were like way out there, these repeaters, and trying to key up these repeaters that are way away from him. And he had this yellow bow fang that, he tried several bow fangs, but this yellow bow fang, he was able to key up a repeater that was almost 36 miles away from him using the DX Commander. And so it's just wild.
I just switched to the inverted V. Yeah, that's interesting. Does he? But so it was already tuned, or did he have to run it through a tuner or something?
No, it was already tuned. It just showed up as I've swept mine before, and it shows up on 2. I don't even run a 6 meter element because I find that 6 meter verticals don't work well on 6 meters.
Oh yeah,
unfortunately, yeah. So ground mounted 6, I have not had any luck with. When I won't run 6, and by the way, if you're not running 6 in this area starting around April, maybe a little bit earlier than that, 6 will open up here in Texas, and it is open until well into July and August. And
cool.
And I run I have a 6 meter Moxon, and that's only a 2 element horizontal, but boy, does that thing get out. And you can get all over the country here, into Mexico. A friend of mine in the Richardson Wireless Club works DX on 6.
Oh, really?
But
wow.
Yeah, he has a dipole on top of his house for 6 meters.
Dang. Yeah, I work with Andrew quite a bit. Anytime there's tower climbs, Andrew Koenig.
Oh yeah.
He he's got all of Denton County and into Richardson linked with All-Star and stuff. He's a whiz at all that.
It's very nice. We can link any repeater to just about any other repeater in the area.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that SON stuff?
The what?
It's
the radio sonda stuff.
Yeah, the radio songs where you're chasing. Yeah, Andrew's big into that. He chases those balloons. Yeah.
Oh.
And
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's weather service balloons. Once they launch them, they really don't want it back anymore. They used to ask you to return the equipment back, but apparently they got it so cheap now that
they're using
Gerald and several of the others would reconfigure them for Foxes and APRS units.
Yeah, they're basically LoRa boards.
And really?
So you can use them for LoRa, and of course you can use them to launch your own balloons. Now they don't want you like using their weather software, but we have software that does that. But literally, like there's a website you can go to, and the website will show you all of the balloons in an area. And I mean, it covers the whole United States, but you'll see the balloon when it launches. And for us, it's over in Fort Worth, I think. And then you can track it as it moves across the Metroplex, and eventually it'll stop moving and stop sending its stuff. And it, turns a certain color. Yeah. And then somebody like Andrew and there's several people, they'll go, okay, I'm chasing that balloon, and you'll see their car, and then eventually it'll say recovered.
Oh yeah. Is that the same?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
No, so if you went to the Ham Expo, Paul, they had that Fox that was inside the mall that they launched, and everybody was trying to find it. It was one of those radios from a weather balloon. That's what he used. So it could be anywhere from Foxes to APRS applications, and
so not what he launched.
All kinds of neat stuff.
Not what he launched on that last balloon launch a month ago.
No, there was one of them on there.
Oh, okay.
If you look, it's like a styrofoam. It's got a curve on it.
I should see.
I talked to Tom. I talked to Tom last week, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing a thing at University of North Texas, and he was one of the tables there. I was at another table. He had one of those radios on his table. I'm like, I recognize that. A lot of our hams have several of those up here.
I should see if I can get.
As long as they reflash them.
Yeah, it's like you were talking about fox hunts earlier. That is like one of the biggest fox hunt kind of things, because if you're successful, you get a prize at the end.
Andrew does that. Andrew does that too. He puts foxes out.
Yeah, at the Ham Expo, he had one of those with a QR code on the side. And what was funny was I found it without the radio. I saw a wire hanging out of the soda machine that was closed. The restaurant there at the mall. I was like, "What's that wire hanging out there?" And I looked around and said, "Oh, I know what that is." I found the QR code.
Yeah,
I'm like, I was so good at fox hunting, I don't need a radio.
I should get him on here one time and have him talk about these things.
Andrew's one of those. He knows somebody that can reprogram.
Yeah. And by the way, I dropped in the live stream chat, in the chat portion, I dropped a link to the website that tracks the balloons. And it's focused right now because it's got like my GPS coordinates, but I mean, you can put your own in there. And now, I mean, mine would work for you and most of the people in North Texas, but if you're in California or something like that, then you would, change that, and it'll show you what's happening around California. Problem with California, like we were looking at, like we're near where Josh lives, there's too many people out there that are trying to get them. So they disappear quite quickly.
Oh, that's
So
the
if you
bit
go to
bucket.
the live stream, if the voice channel, and you go down there, there's a chat bubble. Just
Yeah.
This one?
yeah, there's a chat bubble thing right right there. Open chat.
Got it. I was looking at whose
Might have
was
to hit it
the
again.
PSK there? He was who was hitting check?
That was me.
Oh yeah. So I was just looking at that. You were hitting. Here's his PSK report. He's over here in Czech Republic and England. Yeah, I'm not getting any DX right now. Not with the vertical or the wire. All right, so here's the balloon thing. I think I need to get Andrew over here if I can talk him into coming on one night. If not, maybe just make a video and then do a premiere or something. But yeah, I think this is the one he showed me, and they were up here. Michael did a video on it on his Getting Out on Life channel.
I was trying to pull that video out so I could show you a picture of it.
So this
one over right by my house right now, which is anyway. I'm
it
not
looks
going
like
out in the middle
Go
of the
get
night.
it.
Looks like it's coming down. Is that what that's coming down? Right?
Yeah,
Almost on the ground here.
yeah,
Dude, it's right off the highway.
Texas 19. I don't know what that pond is though.
Yeah, County
There's
Road
a state-
2318.
There's a state park close to here.
Interesting. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wanted to make it to his last one, but I was too booked on that day. But I look, it had a little issue here. It wasn't sure where it wanted to go, and then it was checking out the Heartland. That's funny. It's pretty cool. I do want to go to one of those that Andrew does at some point.
Yeah, I'm looking for that snippet so I can show you the device. So I know it's in there.
And
quite a ways, man.
yeah,
That's
if you
quite-
kind of zoom out.
That's quite the chase. These guys in Fort Worth are getting all the way out here past Canton.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, we need to make that one of our Ragchews if I can convince Andrew to come in and talk this late at night, but he's so busy all the time. And with the cooler weather, we're going to start doing, tower climbs as needed, getting some things fixed and installed for the county. So,
Yeah, have you ever
I don't know if I
climbed
saved
one of the
them.
water towers?
Yeah, I do the climbs for the Denton County and Lark clubs. So anything in Little Elm, Colony, Denton County, I'm usually the climber for everything. I don't go on Roston. It's got an elevator, so I do the rest.
Yeah, from what I
The problem
understand,
with Roston is getting that elevator to work. That's the problem with Roston.
what I understand in Richardson,
Mhm.
the EOC pays for most of the tower climbs, or especially if it's on a water tower.
That'd be
And
nice.
We've got several water towers. Andrew usually goes out and takes his drone and films them when they're putting it up, so he makes sure they do it right. But
Yeah.
they have professional climbers that are going up there to work on the water towers anyway, or to put antennas up for the fire department or whatever. And they always go, "Hey, if you guys want to put up an antenna," and really, not a lot of the EOCs around here do that.
Yeah, none of ours do. And I'll be honest, if you look at the work that they've done in the colony on their control antenna for the city, I guess police and fire, it's just a fiberglass pole or antenna on a mast. The bottom portion of the antenna is literally electrical taped to the mast. That's it. No wire, no hose clamp, no nothing. Electrically taped to the mast. It's they're paying for really shoddy work. In Little Elm here, they've got, I'm assuming from T-Mobile, there's bolts and washers and hex nuts and things all over the top of that water tower. Like they don't clean up after themselves.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised, but yeah, several of the water towers in Richardson have 4G antennas on them. When 5G actually deploys, you won't see stuff like that, because 5G, the towers are short, and they're very, because of the frequencies, like they're at 6 gigahertz, They don't travel very far, so they won't work like those ones that they have on those towers. And so even the big, huge towers, you won't see very many of those either. But you'll see a lot of places that have those towers because they're not doing real 5G. They're only doing 4G.
Yeah. Now the 5G sectors are smaller, right? Because I think they've replaced the 4G with 5. Because they got the big ones that I'm assuming were 4G, and now they've recently in the colony they put these small ones in and disconnected the other ones.
If they're about 40 to 50 feet high, yes. If they're still putting them on those big 100-foot towers, no.
Okay, no, then this is on a tower, water tower.
Yeah, there's where I used to work. We had 2 5G towers, and they were just over the top of the building, and that was as high as they would go. And that's the way they're meant to be because they don't want a huge coverage on them. Because when you're running stuff at that speed, you have a really wide signal, so they can't pack as many phones in that same area as these towers up here do, because they're not quite as wide, so they can put more, and they're of course directional. But we have like MIMO or multi-in, multi-out on those things, and so there's several antennas even on the 5G little towers. There's several antennas on them, but that's to get around buildings and stuff like that. The 6 gigahertz will be even more directional, and they don't want to have as many people on them, or as many people on a single tower as they do today with the 4G.
Did Japan Ham ever check in? I know he made some comments on Discord, but I don't know if he checked in. He was just having breakfast before we started. He's over in Japan. Miss Ray Novak. Yeah, go ahead. Are you able?
Let me see if I can do it.
You should be.
I should be able to. Share screen. See. Okay. Blah, 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 blah.
What I was doing with my church group when I was over the EmComm for North Texas and Oklahoma was I'd go on Google Map and I would mark the person's location that could hear me or I could hear them, and I was creating this really cool map of basically where I could reach with my inverted V. And I thought to start doing that with a group of people and perhaps put more data in there, what the conditions were or whatever, and start kind of keeping track of targeted comms type mentality, and so I know who can reach who, and kind of create that group. I was talking to Bob K6UDA a little bit about it a few weeks back, but I've never really got anything on the on the ground running yet.
That's a fantastic idea.
I was sharing the wrong screen there.
Michael, don't share the under the desk camera. We don't need to see you. We know you live stream in your underwear.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think it's because I'm really impressed with what Gaston does, the tech prepper. And he's got a couple guys that he has, focused contacts with, but I really like to create a group of people that do that on the regular in practice, and whether it's JS8 call or voice or both or whatever.
Yeah, he was doing JS8 for a while.
Yeah.
If you're looking on my screen here,
that's Andrew.
right there. It's not even showing my mouse, is it?
We see
that is
it.
Andrew. But there is one of those weather balloon radios right there.
Yeah. Yeah, he was explaining it there.
But that radio right there was actually a not GMRS, DMR radio, and he had a 360 cam on top of it. He had a sock, as a removed before flight sock, so his lens wouldn't get all cluttered up. But
I do have something I can show.
Yeah, that's the radios. They're pretty simple. They're just a piece of styrofoam with one side's kind of curved and it's got a little antenna that sticks out. That's all that goes up in those weather balloons.
I've got to find where it was at, but Andrew did post. Oh, here. Let me show you some of these. How can I take this out? So here's, I'm going to have to pull it over here. So here is, I got to share it again. These were some of the characters they had on the balloon that went up.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the camera here.
And actually, the giraffe was there, but it was hanging off of his pad. Lego Man lost everything but his feet. So they should glue the whole thing together.
Let me go to that. Here's the view where Lego Man gets hit by the rope and gets knocked off. I thought these videos were great. I was wondering if he just flew off. No, it looks like he gets hit by the yellow cord there. And then there's a thing down up view maybe after the balloon burst.
Yeah.
It just burst. Yeah, it burst right there. Very beginning, you see the burst right there, and then it drops.
There's a group.
There's the burst.
11,817 feet.
Isn't that crazy looking, man?
That was the amazing part.
I believe there's a group on, if you go to spaceweather.com, there's a group that'll like send up things that they sell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like pieces of jewelry or like trinkets and stuff.
Yeah,
well,
my wife
with that,
Douglas, what's your call?
So that was Tony's. Tony set that up, and the 4 toys that are on there, each one of those belongs to a different grandchild. He's got 4 grandchildren, so that's why he set it up there for it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen W5KUB do his balloon launches and stuff?
I haven't.
Because, see, that's a completely different type of balloon than what Andrew's doing. The ones that Tom sends up are meant to go around the world as many times as you possibly can. So they're specifically, they put just enough helium to get them up into what they hope is a jet stream. And then they just ride the jet stream all over literally in a circle around the world. And they track them as they go around the world.
Yeah.
And Don, he gave a presentation at the Dakar Club, the Denton County Club. So I'm sure that same guy gave a presentation at the Richardson Club because of Andrew. But that was the KUB guy.
Tom has his own YouTube channel.
Okay. Maybe
it's a
maybe
pretty big channel too. Yeah, Tom's got a pretty big channel. The thing is, I think a lot of us don't watch it, but Tom's been doing videos for years.
Okay.
What's he do? Balloons and stuff?
The guy who presented at Dakar, what was cool with him is he. Sorry, I'm having a blank spot. When they send these balloons out, they're called either floaters or pico balloons, is what they also call them. And when they send them around the world, there's 3 countries that you're not allowed to transmit on amateur radio with those balloons. And that was North Korea, Syria, and I think the UK. All countries. And so those balloons are so smart that as they're floating over those areas and they pass that geofence, they shut their transmitters off. And they'll start transmitting again once they go outside that area, which I thought was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. They see them going through China, they see them going through, Russia and all that, and no problems. It's just when it goes over North Korea, it shuts off. And when he gave the presentation, his last balloon disappeared somewhere over Ukraine, so may have been shot down. Who knows? They don't.
Douglas, real quick, check your settings and just double check right here under audio, 3rd tab, and just make sure, in my case, it's the USB audio codec. I've renamed it FTDX. Just make sure it's that and it's not set to your speaker or Realtek or something like that if you're using USB audio or built-in digital or DigiRig or something. Go ahead, Don. You were going to say something?
Oh, I dropped a link to Tom's channel in the live stream chat.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting ready to drop it here.
yeah,
You got it? Okay.
Tom actually is or he's done balloons, and there's a guy on his stream, Joe something, I think, and there's 2 or 3 guys that are on his stream that are like, they have published books with the ARRL and stuff like that on building things. And one of the things they build are these little tiny boards that they send up on those balloons. And those boards have to know, like, they have to read the GPS data and know if they're over England, for instance, the UK. They cannot transmit over the UK. And then when they're over China, they cannot transmit over China. And I believe, so there are countries where they're not allowed to transmit. And so they have to turn them off until they get on the other side of it. So it's the software that they have to do that is just, it's amazing. And then they try to pack them on a board, really, really tiny board.
Yeah.
So, and Tom got into it for a while. That's Tom Medlin, is W5KUB. But he got into it for a while. I don't know if he's still doing it, but yeah, they were building and launching balloons all the time. And, you know, some of them would go, you know, and get over just into Europe, and then they would disappear. And some of them would, he had one that went literally 3 times around the world.
Good grief. Well, it seems like it's okay if you're a Chinese balloon, you can transmit over the U.S. That seems to be okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, we don't have the restrictions.
Well, yeah, we don't restrict it, but you'd think there would be something there for certain countries anyway, and that's all I'll say about that. Let's see here. Okay, you sent me an email. Did you get that, Douglas?
I don't know why that didn't.
Oh, whoops, I put the wrong one in. Go ahead, Michael.
No, I was just saying, I don't know why they didn't post on the YouTube. It posted on Rumble or Twitch, but not YouTube. So I put it up on the screen.
Am I getting it right?
That's all he was referring to.
Douglas, are you in Arizona? Oh, I guess I need to look at the chat. Okay, so looking at yours right here, Douglas. So a lot of us are hearing you. Double check that other audio settings. Remember, there's 2 settings, and make sure you got the right setting. Yeah, exactly. Guys in Idaho. Both are USB speakers. So now one needs to be the mic and one needs to be a speaker. Yeah. So is it not separate, mic and speaker, or input and output?
Oh, if he's having trouble with JS8 call, let me give you a hint. Once you set it up the first time, quit it and start it again.
Okay.
Because I had that same problem where, like, it wasn't transmitting.
Yeah.
And I had to shut it down and restart it, and then everything magically started working. WSJTX has the same problem. You'll go in and set certain things, but it doesn't actually take effect until you quit it and restart it. Now, I'm not saying that's what the problem is, but you should always do that with both those programs.
That may be it because we're hearing him and he's not hearing anybody. So it may just be that other setting there. Let me put the invite in.
It's also funny whenever it does that to you, and you're running a wire that's so perfectly tuned to 40, your meter doesn't go up on it. So you're sitting here thinking like, okay, is it broken or is it you reboot and you start and your meter still doesn't move because you have no SWR hits on it.
Yeah, we're all hearing him. Some people are sending back. I saw a few people here. There's Ryan. No, not Ryan. That's Chris. I saw some others here. So we're copying them. Yeah, Douglas, just restart the JSA call. See if that fixes it. Oh, I lost Michael. Well, I guess I am getting late. Shoot, getting close to 2 hours. Well, this is what, because I didn't really have a topic. Some of the stuff I want to do is I've got to get a hold of some YouTubers and see if they want to come on. And the ones in the North Carolina area are probably busy right now, and I just didn't want to, really bother them. But there's two that I want to contact, see if I can bring them on to see what they found, if they found their radio licenses to be useful or not. But and then one guy is the master of hydroponics and aquaponics gardening, and I want to bring him on sometime on one of my preparedness weeks on his cheap in a bucket hydroponics, under $10, you start growing stuff in your garden or in your garage or on a patio. I don't know if Michael's
format too. This is kind of nice. Kind of a real Ragchew.
Yeah. And that's why I was struggling for, I guess almost a year trying to get that mixer to work. And finally figured it out. It was literally just me not putting the right input in. I was still choosing microphone for my Streamlab or StreamYard input, and it needs to be, so my mixer is software driven. It's Wavelink from Elgato because I got their Stream Deck, and if you have their product, you get the Wavelink software for free. It's a mixer that controls everything. So I put Discord. It has its channel, as voice chat. Everything's got its channel, and it all comes out through Wavelink Stream Mix. So when I come into something like Zoom or StreamYard, I don't choose my mic. I choose Wavelink Stream Mix as my microphone, and then all the audio goes through Wavelink Mixer into the web browser. So figured it out, finally. So now I can do this. Got all my audio sounds. I'm so excited. I don't really use them, but exciting nonetheless. Let's see if we get him on here.
I missed out on that. I lost internet at home, so if you're wondering why I dropped out.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I want to see if Douglas is on.
I got lights saying the internet's out. I lost internet for several hours yesterday, so it doesn't surprise me. I lost it again tonight.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see if we can get QSO with Douglas here, and then we'll wind it down. It looks like he's starting to hear W7DSF. He's hearing him. So maybe see if I can get out to him. Hey, good evening, Jeff. Welcome. But yeah, thanks, Don, and for all this information. I hadn't used it in a while, but there are a lot of things that I learned tonight to be able to make this more useful and more fun, actually.
Yeah, I like to be able to share things that I've learned, and JS8 call is just one of those things that it's just fun to play with, I guess.
Yeah. And I will say this, man, that inverted V is so much quieter than my vertical.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at the noise. It's such a difference. Not so much now, but earlier in the day when I was doing the QSO parties. Okay, so he's going back to W7 DSF, but I don't know if he's hearing me. Doesn't look like it. It's in Arizona. I would think my vertical would be better, but I can try the NFED. I'm going to switch to the NFED. Let's see if we can get him. And look at that noise difference right here. I went the wrong way. Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'll try it again here.
Living out here where I do, it's just amazing to me what I can hear.
Are you out? Do you have like some property, or are you just not close to cities and buildings? Yeah.
No, I've got 4 acres, and
I
specifically moved out here to get away from my S7 plus noise floor in Richardson.
Well,
and yeah, I 40 meters. I mean, if I've got a noise floor, it's S3.
Oh, wow. That's good. Yeah, I don't have too much noise here. I mean, right now looking at it, it's like it was a bounce around a 1 or a 2, but I was supposed to look at some land Saturday. I'd like to get some land just to start kind of homesteading off and on and building my homestead as I go. But it's hard to get the size lot I want that's, in range now. It's all $6,000 to $15,000 an acre now. It's no longer 2 to 5.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, that I was looking at land, because I just literally went through this to buy this property. And you see where I am. I'm, about 50 miles outside of Dallas to the south.
Yeah.
And there are not that many people coming out this direction. And I think there were 3 different properties near me that were for sale, and it seems like they're all gone now. So I'm surprised how quick they sold. But yeah, it's out here, it's not so bad, because I think, I don't know what my per acre is, because there was a house on here on the lot, and they price it based on the house, not on the land.
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying for the land; I was paying for the house. So I don't have a comparison. But I had seen some up just on the east of Dallas, and they were twice what this property was for less land.
Yeah, I was looking at 11 acres up just south of Paris.
Oh yeah.
All the utilities to the property, and I just don't have the money yet. And in November, I should have the money in hand to be able to buy something, not outright, but put a sizable down on it. There we go. Got you, Douglas. Or was that me? No, that's Douglas to me. Okay. So I don't know. We'll see. I'd like a minimum of 10, just because, and of course it depends on the county and where you're at and all that, but I would like to have some kind of a target range to be able to, just target shoot if I can, but that's really going to depend on location. But it seems like you need like minimum 10 to 12 acres.
I don't know, because there's people like literally right around me that are shooting all the time.
Well,
you can literally tell they're practicing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it happens. But yeah, the big things I want to do, I want to make sure there's no restrictions, antenna towers in the county and in the development. I want free and clear. I want nothing stopping me.
Yeah, that was my insistence too. And out here, there is nothing. And literally, like, I'm putting a shed in or a cabin in for my ham shack, and it's like,
nice.
Yeah, just go ahead and do it. There's no there's no authorities out here. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's not that there's no authorities. It's just that there's no restrictions. They basically don't care. And I was out in my backyard yesterday burning my boxes, because they don't pick up boxes. They tell you, no, just burn them.
Yeah.
And there's a barrel out in the back of my house that has been there for years, obviously. And to me, it's obvious because it's so rusted. And they just basically, that's what that's for. You when you have boxes and stuff like that, we're not going to, and limbs and all kinds of stuff that fall out around here, you just burn them. You don't throw them away. Don't take them and have the trash haul them off to the landfill. They don't want it. Just burn it.
Yeah, just be careful when you're building or where you buy land, and see how close to an airport you are. I think it was Dell Finley told me his son wanted to put up a tower and bought some land to do it. And after everything was said and done, he figured out that he was limited to 40 feet, and he had to put a light on it. He had to put a red lights on the top of it so the airport would know it. So
wow.
find out where your airports are.
there are 2 hams out here close to me that have 60-foot towers up with step IRs and everything. I don't know where the money comes from, but anyway, they have towers and everything. So I think 40 put up a tower, but
40 is sufficient for me for what I would want. I don't think I'd want to have anything bigger.
Well, here you have to get up over the trees. That's the big thing. Or they want to. Are the trees are between 60 and 80 feet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, when that's the difference between that I found anyway. Like I looked up in Paris, but to me there weren't as many trees because I'd seen this property first, and there's a ton of trees, and I have a pond and all of that stuff, and they're tall pine trees. And then over at the when I looked at the property in Paris, there were trees around the property, but none on the property. And I don't know if they'd cleared it off or what. It just, and that whole area out there, you can see they planted windbreaks, but it doesn't look like the land itself naturally has trees on it.
Yeah, I was looking last year at a small town of Pittsburgh, I think, just east of Sulphur Springs. There was a 16-acre lot for under 100 that I thought, man, and it was big tree. I don't know how big the trees are, but because I'm from the Northwest, I miss the pine trees, and I love that. So I'd really like to get somewhere East Texas, preferably due east of Dallas or north of that, towards Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And
you know that like the direction I'm going. So if you go down towards Houston, basically you're in the piney woods, and I'm where my property is. I'm on the outside edge of that. That's the reason that, you're basically just getting in. I have quite a few pine trees in my yard.
So that's what I would like. Then the only thing I'm missing is a mountain. I miss the mountains, but I'll have to deal with the humidity. I just got to suck it up. But yeah, having trees would be nice and keep things shaded, and I just like trees. So
yeah, I really had never. I don't like the mountains, but I'd never been around. Like I never even thought about living in a forest. And the more I live out here, the more I'm like, this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah, I was watching a show with my wife. We're on the last season of Grimm, and of course I've missed tonight. I guess hopefully she's not watched it without me, but and it's up in Portland, and they keep showing these things in the woods and stuff. And I was like, look, see, that's what I left. It was, it's no humidity basically. It's beautiful and cool air, and it's so gorgeous. But I do love Texas.
I love that show.
Yeah, it's a great show. Yeah, it's her first time. Yeah, I want to say 2009 maybe was what, I can't remember. It's old. It's crazy how old it is, and it just, I don't know. You get older and time goes faster. So yeah, Arizona. Douglas. I was born in Mesa, then moved to Idaho when I was 7. My dad took a fire chief job up in Coeur d'Alene, and when I was 9 in 1977, and I never looked back. But when I was in Arizona, I remember as a kid, I loved going up to, we'd go to Sholo, Arizona to visit my grandma. She was a Hopi Indian, and up there in the I think that was Navajo reservation, but she was Hopi. And it was fun out there because we'd run out there, we'd run around catching horned toads and stuff like that. But the other area, my favorite place in Arizona was Flagstaff. We would go there sledding. So if I lived in Arizona, I would probably have to get into that higher elevation like Flagstaff, because it's pine trees and just beautiful, beautiful up there. Yeah, I am. And we're getting the temple up there in Coeur d'Alene. So that was my mother still lives up there, and then some nieces and nephews, but yeah, so we're getting a temple up there. It's kind of, my mom was excited to have that, but yeah. So anyway, I love Texas. I love the attitude of Texas and Texans and the independence kind of mindset of Texas, and we're resource rich. The pride. Oh, I love all that. There's one thing I just wish we didn't have, and that's humidity. I just wish the humidity wasn't so bad. That's the only thing that's still frustrating to me 16 years later, 17, is walking out to the mailbox. I'm showered, I'm clean, I'm ready for the day, work in the yard, do something just very basic, nothing too strenuous, and I'm drenched and I got to change and shower again. I just wish there was something I could do. I guess I could go towards
Big Bend.
Well, I don't want to go south, but I was thinking up like Amarillo, maybe up that direction, kind of, perhaps. But then I'm not going to get the trees of East Texas.
Yep.
So if I want my trees, I'm going to have to deal with humidity.
Yeah, you're in the plains, and in that panhandle, you're in the plains.
Yeah,
it's flat, and it gets bitter cold.
Yeah. And when you don't have the trees and the mountains and such to cover it in those kind of areas, like southern Idaho is totally different than the northern half of Idaho. Southern Idaho is frigid, freezing farmland in the winter because there's nothing to block the wind. So like if you've been to Chicago or Manhattan or any of those where the wind, Manhattan, like in New York, the buildings create these wind tunnels and it is frigid cold, just like Chicago. It's that kind of cold. But up in Idaho, you didn't get the wind because trees and mountains were blocking it. So it was cold. You put on a jacket, a hat, and some gloves, and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to prefer the trees of East Texas and just suck it up and deal with the humidity.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever seen like KNMRD's right?
Yeah.
Where he's out at Huntsville State Park. That is that's basically the piney woods. All of that area. Sam Houston State Park.
Mm-hmm.
All of those are, and like I said, where I am, I'm on the edge of it, and it's just beginning. And you can tell if you drive south out of Dallas, you as you get further and further to the southeast, you get more and more and more trees, and on either side of the road and everything. So. And then when you get out here, and I go to Purtis Creek State Park, but at Purtis Creek, the trees are actually not as tall as they are here where I am. I'm not sure exactly why, but my pine trees are absolutely huge. And theirs are, I don't know, 15, 20 foot, like mesquites and stuff like that. I don't know if they cleared it or I just don't know, but I'm not like within like 3 or 4 miles of Purtis. So, but yeah, this is a great area. But then, again, as you move closer to where Mike is in that Houston area, which humidity is going to go up.
Oh man!
But you have a beautiful forest out there.
I was in Houston in July once to get my Brazilian visa, and I don't know how people live in Houston. It was horrible, and I was only there that one day. DFW, I think, would get maybe more wind, or for some reason it's cooler, or we're just not humid because we're not as close. Perhaps, I don't know. I don't know how people live in Houston. I'll be honest.
Y'all also get golf ball sized hail on a regular basis.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
Houston can take a hurricane too. They've been hit a couple of times.
Yeah.
And
so we got our property tax lowered, right, last year for those in Texas, and it lowered my tax about $110 a month, maybe $100 a month. And then not 4 months later, I get my tax assessment thing in the mail.
Yep. That's what they're doing.
Guess what went up? $100 a month. My homeowner's insurance. It's like, oh my gosh. Well, so I saved for 4 months, and now the homeowner's insurance is taking that savings, and I don't even have any claims for like 9 years.
It's not just that; they're raising the property tax values a whole lot in Texas, so they're just counteracting that.
Yeah, I do have a $300, I think $250 or $300, and it covers 2 years. They contest it every year for me. I just pay it, and they've been able to keep it. Bring it down to 5 and 6% each year instead of 7, 8, 9. So it does help. And as long as they save me more than what they're charging me, I pay for it. And if they can't save me more than what they charge me, then they don't charge me. So I just let somebody else take care of that and try to keep it down as best I can.
Yeah, once you're over 65, you can lock it in.
I know, man. I still have 9 years, but then I'm locked in 9 years, and by then, what's it going to be? I'm 5,000 and something right now. It's going to be $9,000.
Mine went down seriously when I got out of Richardson, and the problem with the property taxes is it's not, or for me, it wasn't the property tax that the state charges. It was the Collin County Community College and the school taxes. All three of the other two, the school taxes are based on your property taxes. So and I moved out here. It's nowhere near the cost out here because just smaller county. It's not less services, it's the same services. It's just that they don't have as many people to take care of, so there's fewer police officers and all of that kind of stuff. They don't need a ton, and and my electricity went down. Everything went down when I moved out here, and so I'm surprised how little I have to pay on some of the stuff.
Douglas is mentioning the ag exemption. Now you get ag exemption, but that's like I'm in a town now, so there's nothing I can do. Get ag exemption, you've got to have certain beehives or livestock or something. I can't do that. But when you get out like Don has done, then he probably has ag exemption if he wanted to. Maybe it just depends on where you are, and if you're in a town or HOA in the city area, you're not going to get that. I do get the homestead. That's a statewide thing, which is raised to $100,000, but. When I get the property, I got a buddy that's got 12 acres, or no, he's got 23 acres, and he just has cattle on it. He drilled 2 wells himself, and I think he says he pays $395 a year in property tax on 23 acres. Yeah, so
I can't get my ag exemption without exposing that I'm violating the HOA and city codes.
No, whoops. Well. Yeah. I think
I can, but I have to. I need to get chickens or something like that. Something easy but because I don't have any. In fact, you were talking about the hydroponics. What I was thinking is, maybe a little garden or something out here.
Look into beehives. My buddy in Nakona on 12 acres. There's a company. I think he paid the contract. It's like a couple $100 a hive for like 2 years. And a company will come out, put their hives on your property, and then when the city or county inspectors inspect it, it's a working hive. They maintain it for whatever the contract time is. And then he says he has an option to buy them out to own that beehives, to continue it, or to stop it. So maybe look into some kind of apiary that has that they rent out the beehives. They use your land, and they're and they collect the honey, and they it might save you money in the long run.
Yeah, that might work. The only thing is if I could put them out at the back of my property, which is
5 acres is enough time.
Yeah,
size.
Mine is not. It's longer than it is wide.
Yeah.
And so, and the house sits towards the front. But if I could have some beehives back out in that back area, I sure could do that. They'll probably put them out kind of in a treat area just to keep them shaded and kind of weather protected. They'll put them around the base of some trees. I'd look into it. That's what my buddy did. It's worked for him, and he's actually got my last beehive. I was running beehives here in my HOA. I had one left because the one before that they swarmed away, and so I lost them. I got 4 gallons of honey from them, but I gave him my last hive, so he's actually got nine hives now. One of them for me. But in Richardson, I had to pay to have bees removed because they got in the house, unfortunately. But I did not have them killed. I had somebody that would come in and live catch them.
Yeah, I did that once.
More expensive, but I did not. My wife and I both. It's like, we're not killing the bees. They're going to come out.
No. It's pretty cool because I learned how to do it, and I went out and did it once, and once you get the queen in that box, the bees, you just set it out and the bees will come, they'll follow.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah. The big cost in it was opening the area up so he could get to where the bees are, and then closing that up properly and
cleaning
putting the stuff in there that would keep any other bees from ever coming in.
Because you got to clean it out pretty good too, or you're going to have roaches everywhere eating all the leftover honey and honeycomb. So yeah, that we had to rip a wall out on this guy's back, kind of a garage shed type thing. So it wasn't the house, and we told him we'd do it for free, but we also said we're not going to clean it up and we're not repairing the wall. We're just taking the bees and getting rid of the problem for you. So he had no problem with that, and we took as much of the honeycomb as we could and cleaned up as best we could. And we just told him, in a couple of days, you won't have any bees here. Worst case, a week or two till the final ones die off, and then you can, finish cleaning it and wall it back up. But
yeah, both the guys that I had they came and they put the soffit and all of that back in, and then the one guy came and put some insulation back up there because they'd ruined the insulation that was up there. Yeah. And then they put this white powder in there. And they said basically the white powder is to make that area less attractive to bees, because if you take these out of there, the other beehives or other bee colonies will come by and they can smell that old colony and they know it's not there, and they'll just go right up there because they know that must have been a good place. And so he said, we put this stuff up there and it removes all of that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's I forgot the name of it. Formic acid, which you can use. You can put in beehives. It just annoys them and irritates them, but it kills like mites and stuff in the hive. I think it was formic acid I used. It was just like a strip, powders or strips. You can heat it and smoke it inside to get the smoke around. There's a lot of different ways to treat for mites. That's what killed off 4 of my hives, freaking varroa mites. All right, guys, we got some people leaving and it's getting late. I think this is the record for the Ragchew stream, 2 hours 20.
You're getting close to Josh after chat time.
Yeah, this is getting longer. Wow. But it was great, guys. Great conversation. I was going to say something. Corn said something about honey. Oh yeah, I put honey on toast. I don't have sugar in anything. Oatmeal, everything. Honey's amazing. And if you don't raise bees and you have environmental allergies, the reason I got into bees is because of my wife's allergies. She used to get 2 shots twice a month or something like that. She has not gotten a shot in 7 or 8 years. Just buy local honey. Take care, Andy. Thanks for stopping by, brother. But that's my tip of the day. Use local honey for allergies. And
in fact, if you're traveling somewhere, and I'm still on the, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. If you're traveling, you can even order honey from those areas you're traveling to. Just do a Google search and start taking that honey before you go out there, especially an area that has a high amount of pollen or something that you might be allergic to. So that's a little tidbit I've learned from somebody who did honey as well.
All right, guys. Good conversation. Thanks, everyone, for joining in and participating. And for those who came into Discord to provide the assistance, this JSA call, I'm learning more and more. It's a good thing. I'm going to keep working on it. So 73s, guys.
73.
Come into the chat. Put anything in if you got a topic you want to talk about or discuss. Put it in the Discord, and we'll bring it up and discuss it. I'm not the only one that should come up with topics, guys. If you want to talk about something, put it in the topics chat in Discord, and we'll talk about it. But I should have another video out this week. I got that. It's down there. I'll put a video out this week on the amp protector I won on Coffee and Ham Radio. I think it was Coffee and Ham Radio's stream. I made a quick video on setting that up just to protect the radio when my amp kicks in, so it works out pretty good. But other than that, guys, we'll see you next week on Sunday Night Ragchew. Thanks for joining 73s. Take care and stay prepared.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.